Getting nerds, we're playing Victoria 3. We're still working on building up our tooling industry. The music player seems to have halted again. Come on. There we go. Nice little song. Nice song from the original Generation soundtrack. My general preference is for the first one compared to the later one, but I'm not vehement about it. Again, we're working on passing regulatory bodies, and then we're going to move on to switching over from monarchy to a republic. That's going to reduce our authority, but it's going to have other advantages in terms of higher legitimacy. That being said, the Church of Sweden is still going to be salty about it. Not sure what... Well, it is what it is. Excellent. We got another progress step. So after this round of tooling factories in Jutland and Schleswig-Holstein, I'm going to be able to put together some automation production methods to increase. It'll reduce the overall amount of employees in the businesses, but it will also free up some people to get trained in other stuff. It also occurs to me that I haven't done another university expansion yet. And in fact, I'm a little short on universities. So let's go ahead and get those built. Oh, Iceland. I completely forgot about you. Do you have anybody who's not employed? You do not. So I think we'll put these together after the military rollout. That'll be wonderful. This will cost us a lot of money, but I think we'll mostly be okay. So, again, I don't know if we talked about it before. My construction capacity was a lot lower earlier on, but the primary reason I'm building all these universities is because I want people to be able to get qualifications in their area. Because basically without universities they kind of can't, and that makes it much harder to move into higher tier jobs like machinist. Oh boy. Getting a little sniffy in here. Alright, so I think this is gonna take a steam donkey. These ones, let's see, rail transport. Our railways are producing a goodly amount of... Ooh, I can move these over to government shares. Let's do it. I'm going to do both of those. Just get that knocked out. So what this is going to do is this is going to provide us, I think, a little bit with, some dividends. And that's going to be good for the government. The minor interests. Regardless of the governing caucus's stance, the fiercest debates in regular bodies come down to these two, the landowners and Bjornstjerne Bjornsson. The end is nowhere in sight. Once at a blue moon, the government sees a minor issue to appease an ally or placate an enemy. Invariably, it crosses someone else's line. Some might call enemy my enemy and expect an alliance of convenience. Others, often rightly, expect a velveteen fist. And you let them bicker. Yeah. So that might strengthen the landowners, it might weaken them. So Bjornstein, that'll make the landowners much weaker. Back the landowners, that'll make them stronger but increase their approval. Landowners are pretty weak right now. If I weaken them, they might fall out of power altogether. Although that would make them sad. On the other hand, if I placate them, I can get some opinion and hopefully get faster into that. Yeah, I'm going to back them. This is a weird play, but it is what it is. What that's going to do for me is once they cool down about the suffrage thing. They'll be at plus 11, and by then I'll be able to increase support for a republic, and that'll be nice. We're continuing to work on our military expansion. Barracks get built really fast in this game, so I'm not really worried about how long these are taking. Like, these are taking, 3 weeks per level. And I've got, 5 construction lines together. So, I think this will be done in, 16 weeks or 20. And that should be just fine. Short on steel again. But we got some steel working. So, we're doing this. I'm just looking for places that I can use some more tools to, yeah, here we go. So I can go to mechanized looms. It says it's going to make these less profitable, but I just did a big tooling expansion, so, hey, they're more profitable. This is water tube boiler. This takes coal, so I'm not necessarily going to do that one. Water tube boiler, kind of the case for all of these. Ooh. Not necessarily going to do that right now, but that'll increase our, should increase our standard of living. And for our shipyards, oh, we can't go there. Wonderful. So now we've got regulatory bodies, and we got a maximum of 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and start improving that institution. This is going to cost us 168 bureaucratic capacity, but we've got 223 right now, so that's just fine. Commander commands Civic Coalition. General Reuterskild, Armed Forces Reformer, has made public statements in support of Hoira, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. It is my duty to defend the nation and its interests. Politics is as much a part of war as battles and logistics are. I don't see the problem with doing my duty and doing what I can to make sure those who are best fit to protect the nation end up being the ones in charge. He can say what he wants. That gives Hoira momentum, which I don't want. I can say reprimand him. Good soldiers don't give orders, they take them. That makes some officers radical. Or I can say if he likes politics so much, he ought to get more involved. That makes him the leader of the armed forces. So who's the current leader of the armed forces? The current leader of the armed forces is Magnus Brahe. Oh, you still? You're 75. Yeah, let's do it. Put you in charge. He's a reformer, so that'll be good for us. That means that the armed forces won't be nearly so salty if I try to move to a presidential republic. In fact, they won't care at all, which will be just the bee's knees. In fact, I think we might sacrifice some of these consumption taxes to give us the authority to suppress the Church of Sweden. This is going to cause us a little bit of a money problem, but in the medium term, it'll weaken them. Oh boy, I don't know about this, Chief. Niels de Neergaard has ambushed a royal appearance in Stockholm for a simple announcement. The Radical People's Party are wholly committed to the establishment of a republic. The divine right of kings is one such justification, that the monarch in question should never be questioned. Another is the mandate of heaven. Second verse, same as the first. It is the same in principle. Do not question the monarch. The funny thing is, once God is dead, then who assures the divine right? Oh boy, brave words. The emperor must demonstrate his connection to the people. 10% momentum to the Radical People's Party. Niels de Neergaard gets subversive bravery, so that makes him more popular and his interest group as well. He's the devout. Sedition cannot be tolerated. Francois Bernadotte gets demonstrated authority, which makes him more popular. Niels de Neergaard gets grandstanding fool. Reduced interest group attraction and popularity. Or our allegiance is to a republic to democracy. This gets us a big ol' increase to Support and momentum of the Radical People's Party. Let's do it. We're going to get some upper strata pops salty, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Alright, so go ahead and pause that. I think we'll just kind of wait out the election. Because I think Writers Guild should bail out of the Hoira pretty soon. Because I think he's going to have to join the Radical People's Party. The party favorites. The wing of the Agrarian Party affiliated with the politically unaligned has raised complaints about Kirsten and Gerson's choice of endorsements, leaving their supporters neglected. I must levy a concern now that it has come to my attention. Whilst Kirsten and Gerson's actions are undoubtedly well-intentioned, the recommendations contained thereof seem to exclude certain members of the party who have demonstrated more than sufficient vigor, goodwill, and surety of purpose. Listen to their concerns and appease the politically unaligned. This gives us a big old boost to momentum for the Agrarian Party and makes them happy. Or appeasement, don't they know it was fully intentional? Small increase in momentum as opposed to, so 10% for this one as opposed to 20%. But this gives him a bunch of popularity. Let's do this. That wasn't what I meant to do. I'm dumb. That's okay. Members of the Labour Party have drawn attention to the rise of the Radical People's Party, expressing their willingness to offer a more moderate solution to their political extremism. Have you heard of that dangerous Radical People's Party? I've been told that their members meet at night, plot their next terrorist attack, and eat babies. Babies. And thank God they do. This is, thank God they do about the Labour Party. So this gives momentum to the Radical People's Party. Or, sounds a bit far-fetched, but the Labour Party is still a sensible option. I'm going to go with this. It's going to make Labour stronger. This is our main two parties here. Again, putting the Radical People's Party in charge is probably going to be difficult. They've got a good amount of momentum here, but Labour and the Agrarian Party are still the main voices in government. Hoira is incredibly weak still. And I'm hoping that they continue to be so as we go along here. So once we get past this election, I think it'll be time to change up the... I'm hoping that will reduce the power of these parties so much that they'll become marginalized. And then we can just go ahead and switch to a republic without there being any kind of problem. Because again, we're nice, peaceful people who want to just relax and let everything go as it goes. Excellent. The free market is building some munitions plants for us. That will be just wonderful. Allow us to have a nice relaxed play. I haven't been automating much. The thing is, I'm short on coal. I can't get any more coal than I've got. Ooh, we've unlocked socialism. This unlocks quite a few different things. So I'm going to need to get coal from abroad. Shortage of small arms. How could this be? Maybe we need to automate our arms industries a little bit. Well, can't. Well, let's produce... No, that's just made them angrier. Alright, there's the election. 25 and 25 with these methods. And Venstre has been formed. Alright. Interesting. Our government legitimacy reduced. Well, that's okay. Alright. So the Church of Sweden's been marginalized. The landowners are going to get a little bit more loyal, and then we'll switch it up. And hopefully they won't radicalize, and everything will be chill. The intelligentsia joined the Venstre. The Radical People's Party is... Or no, this is the Armed Forces. Oh, interesting. That's typically the Intelligentsia's party, but they're part of the Radical People's Party right now. Neat. The landowners have become loyal. going to give them... I'm going to let them get up to plus 11. That'll mean they'll go down to minus 9 and try to switch up the government. And that will just make things super duper easy. Barely, in the words of a certain YouTuber, an inconvenience. What can we do? Drop the Labour Party out and pull the Radical People's Party in. That's not going to help. Yeah, we're still at maximum maximum legitimacy, and these guys don't want to join the Radical People's Party, which is the rural folk, which is interesting. We're doing really well financially, so I might just go ahead and cut taxes to increase us to a higher tier of legitimacy. I think that might be what I do. In fact, that's looking more and more tempting. But for now, I'm going to let our money situation get a little bit more comfortable before I do that. Again, I thought I was going to do a lot of changing up production methods here, but I think I'm not going to do so much of that. Just looking through here. Could go to steamships. Where are we with the other technologies for that? So steamships, you have to make some changes all at once. So I don't yet have gantry cranes. And without gantry cranes, I can't switch over my method for my ports to steamships yet. So I'm not yet going to switch those up. What do we have spreading to us in military? Repeaters. Alright. So once that gets finished, I'll swap over to the higher production methods for both small arms and artillery in our arms industries over here. And that'll hopefully make things easier. We're starting to get a little short on convoys. I noticed we went negative for a bit there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put down some more ports. Let me see, is there anywhere... Svealand, frankly, is the right place. And let's do one in... Jotunland. Gotland. And we'll do one in Jotunland just to round it out. These shouldn't take too long to build. Still a little bit short financially, but not too short. Let's see. Just waiting on this to switch over. Trying to get that to plus 11. So, where can I get more coal from? Get it from Britain. Get some from Hanover. Can't get that much, though. Coal's real difficult. Coal's a tricky situation. And no mistake about it. I'm just going to keep checking on this, because I really want to do this as soon as these guys are at the point where they'll be relaxed enough to not worry about it. My military expansion, I'm realizing, was probably a little bit more substantial than I thought it was going to be. Military goods prices are still okay. We're doing a little bit better financially since we got another another munitions industry. That's really helped us sort those things out. I'm indulging in fantasies of invading Finland, but I don't think it's going to happen. Because frankly, this is just way too chill a Let's Play for that. Yeah, once again, once we move up into the higher category, we'll be at 91, and that'll reduce our enactment time by 25%, which will be just lovely. Part of the reason I can't do this right now is because if they go down to minus 10, they'll start a movement, and that movement will be revolutionary. They'll want to fight about it, probably. And that's just really, really rough for me. So I'm trying not to, so I'm trying to just give them a little longer to let them relax more about the switch over to universal suffrage. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. Get those ports built. I think after we get human rights, I'm going to queue in gantry cranes. Let me see. How's our explosives market? Ooh, there's a duel. Nils de Niergaard and Peter Andreasen. Oh, boy. I don't want to lose Nils de Niergaard. Yeah, he'll be fine if he dies. This is the... He's a politician. He's the current leader of the Church of Sweden. Neat. Let them fight. Oh, he died. That's okay. These things are known to happen. Excellent. Workplace safety is going up. Oh, but he reduced our... That's curious. Well, I won't need to reduce taxes after all then. Is there anyone else abroad that I can bring in? Jacob von Holstein. Ooh, he is someone I would like. But once we've gotten our current movement done, once we've gotten that going, we'll be able to do cultural exclusion. Because I would like to reduce my overall level of discrimination in the country. Alright, I was going to automate production methods. Let's automate production methods. Get these mines more productive. This will have the additional effect of increasing the productivity of our railways, which will be really nice. Do we have anything else we can... No, not yet. Because railways we have plenty of. And actually, we're about to get more coal from having dynamite. Oh my goodness. Alright, so this is this event that let us get a radical leader in the trade unions. Does this have a stance on the thing? It does. But I don't want them to join the Radical People's Party. So I'm going to do this. That's going to goof us up a little bit. But hopefully that guy will join this movement and we'll all be able to be happy. Landowners are at plus 11. Let's pull the trigger. We're going to a presidential republic. Well, gosh, they lost 22 points and now they're angry. I don't know how that happened, but... Well, hopefully they'll stay relaxed and not create a problem. So far we have a 100% success chance on account of all of these agitators working together on this, so hopefully that'll improve our overall situation, and we won't have to worry about having a big angry movement trying to stop us from doing this. How long until we get our dynamite? 3 weeks. Oh, right. I was checking up on the explosives market. There's explosives. It's here. We're exactly in balance. That's very good. Dynamite, the technology going to the higher production method for that, will cause our will cause our mines to use more explosives, but in turn, we'll be able to produce more out of our chemical plants. So I'm hoping those things will balance perfectly well. Then we won't have to worry about stuff. This trade route's been inactive for a while. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Wonderful. So this... Get more coal. We'll get more sulfur. We'll get more lead. More lead. Those went down in profitability. That's interesting. We get more iron. And then we'll get more explosives. Oh, interesting. Why have you gone way down in profitability? So, this is an event that happens when you first set up all your explosives industry. Now, with the recent expansion in both the production and consumption of explosives in our country, there's been much debate on whether the military or the industrial sector should have priority. Why should we worry about how much dirt we can move when we should be thinking about how to defend our country? All you care about is starting more wars. We should put this to use for our workers instead. They're more important. So if we try to support both industries, that gives us a throughput increase for our chemical plants. I don't necessarily need that because those are also producing fertilizer, which we've got too much of. So I'm going to give it to the industrial sector to help with the mines. So, you think you'll be a lot more productive. Yeah, I'm going to do it. We can export the extra explosives, no problem. The British want explosives. That'll be fun. This is the repeaters tech, so now it's time to increase both production methods for our arms industries. And that should sort out our arms industry just fine. Yes, okay, those are both doing just fine. Alright, moving right along here. How's our coal situation? Coal situation's doing better, but not perfect. Who's buying all this coal? It's Russia. It's Russia. Is that our trade route? No, in fact, we're bringing in a bunch from Prussia. We're a clearinghouse for imports of coal from Prussia, and a bunch of other places as well, even, which is interesting. Our trade route with Oman seems to have not worked, so I'm going to close that out. We're losing profitability on silk and luxury furniture imports from Prussia and Sicily, respectively. So we'll cut those. And an import route of regular furniture from Prussia is also unproductive. So we can get rid of that. This coal trade route is not too unproductive, so I am actually going to keep it for the moment. Because we're not losing too much profitability on that. Let me see. We do have another 2 munitions plants building, so that should sort out our munitions situation. And is the private sector building arts academies? Incredibly, it's not. That's a shocker. Alright, so we're working on human rights, and then I said I was going to clear up... Yeah, we got gantry cranes queued up. Pump jacks is not that important for me in my current build. Unfortunately, we've got rubber mastication spreading. Let's do steel railway cars. That's really going to help out our overall transportation situation. This is still looking good. So I'm very pleased about the way this movement is going. And maybe we'll go ahead and get that finished. Oh, interesting. We can get all the way to the top here. Let's do it. In fact, we should have some more labor available now that we've done a little bit of automating. I'm just trying to focus on places where we've got unemployment, because again, those pops are going to have a lower standard of living. As we can see, as a result of our automations, our standard of living has gone way up. In particular, for the lower stratum, we got an average of 12.5, which is quite good for this time of the game for the lower stratum in particular. In fact, I think I want to do gantry cranes first, then human rights, then steel railway car. Because I want to get this finished. We're still not huge innovators right now. I might do another big heavy expansion of our primary university in Svealand. see about that. We're continuing to get a lot of coal from abroad, and that's okay, but it could definitely be going better. Alright, let's see if the game is being honest with me about the statistics. Hooray! Got to drafting. Hopefully, the landowners will continue to be relaxed about the situation and not, again, try to start a revolution. I would very much love to keep non-revolutionary life going. I'm getting a bunch of wine from trade routes. That's nice. Interesting. Glassworks are still active. See, usually for me, particularly when I'm playing as a country that's highly industrialized, I'll wind up with a lot of glassworks, but I'll have way more demand for porcelain and glass. But I guess we're not necessarily in that world right now. Produce a ton of fruit and sugar doing this, but the liquor market is still solid. We're exporting a lot of liquor, which is important. Another important advance we'll need technologically will be modern nursing. That will require us to purchase opium from abroad, but I think that won't necessarily be a problem. I know the British market exports a lot of opium. So from a technology perspective, most of our innovation is coming from the big university in Sweden, and I want to keep that going. I want to keep increasing that, because that continues to make my intelligentsia very powerful in my government. And that's just generally a good thing to have if you want to stay liberal. So, kind of also want to build up another university, though. I think that would be kind of fun. Of a two-university situation. No, we'll do it. We'll do it the optimized way. Oh, I don't actually need 10 levels. I only need 5. That's going to cost us a little bit more cash, but ultimately will be very useful. Let's get this all the way up. Again, this is going to be really important because it's going to help with population growth. And population growth is the lifeblood, especially if you're not getting too much immigration, which we're not. As you can see, our population has continued to increase, and the increase has gotten larger over time as our working conditions have gotten safer. And that's a very important part of keeping your economy growing in the mid-game. I actually think with our investment pool continuing to expand, I want to drop a few more construction sectors. That's going to give us a little bit more construction capacity. Wonderful. And again, that's going to be very important in the long term, because construction capacity is your capacity to build new stuff, and that's what you need to do for the economy to grow. Once again, we have a lot of money in the investment pool. Not a lot. Like, I've definitely had more money than this in the investment pool, but that's always a good sign that you can go ahead and increase your size of your construction industry. With that having been said, it is 1868. We're well on our way to having a presidential republic. We're just in the middle of the second step, and there's 3 total steps, so I reckon we're just about halfway there. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.